Everyone, my name is Amanda McElheran, and I'm here to present to you on zebra mussels, an invasive species, a menace for human structures. Zebra mussels have a negative impact on us humans. They colonize on our man-made structures and can damage them, specifically the bottom of boats and filtration systems. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature Invasive Species Specialist Group, zebra mussels are one of the 100 most invasive species. Their colonizing tendencies are also a threat to the shipping trade and filtration facilities. They are also known to be dangerous to humans. If a human is to come in contact with them, we can often be cut on the feet or hands, especially when wading or swimming in water. I would like to now tell you about the organism itself. Concerning its basic anatomy, the zebra mussel has a D-shaped shell, as you can see on the image on the left. Its foot and abyssal threads are two main parts of the zebra mussel that are essential to it. The foot is meant for movement, and the abyssal threads are there to help attach the zebra mussel to the surface it may choose. They can range in size from 1/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches. They also can live from anywhere from 3 to 9 years. This is usually dependent on the climate of the water and also us humans. If you're wondering why they're called zebra mussels, it's because they have distinct stripes on their shells that look like a zebra print. The reproduction occurs outside of the zebra mussel, and the female lays the eggs, which are then fertilized by the male. Over 40,000 eggs can be laid in the reproductive cycle, and up to 1 million in a single spawning season. They prefer a warm water climate, ranging usually from 17 to 18 degrees Celsius. Because they grow so rapidly, this attributes to the fact that they're an invasive species. Because there's so many zebra mussels every spawning season, it's very difficult to deter them from sticking to surfaces that we do not want them to. Taxonomy. Their scientific name is Duressa polymorpha. The phylum is the mollusca. This is due to the fact that they are an invertebrate. Their class is the Bivalva, which is because they have a hard shell made of two parts or valves. The subclass, the Hirtodonta, and the order Venerata are because they're bivalve shellfish. The superfamily Duressa is because they attach themselves, like I mentioned, with the abyssal threads. These are freshwater mussels, which is why their genus is Durisma, and as you probably could have guessed, their kingdom is Animalia. Just to give you some simple background information on zebra mussels, their origin is actually from freshwater lakes in Russia. And the reason they have spread to the United States is because of the shipping trade. Once the shipping trade brought these zebra mussels to our freshwater lakes, recreational boating and waterfowl then brought it to other lakes around the United States. As you can see in the map I presented below, zebra mussels are very extensive across the entire United States. They are more commonly found, though, in our Great Lakes, which are at the top of the United States. Personally, I live near the Great Lake, Lake Ontario, and zebra mussels are very prevalent and a very big problem to our Great Lakes. To go into more detail about the shipping trade and the recreational boating, I would like to talk to you about how damaging zebra mussels actually are. They can cause damage to the hull, which is very expensive considering the amount of time zebra mussels will be found on the bottom of the hull. They can also cause the disproportional weight on the hull itself. This is very dangerous in boating because, as you know, you want weight to be proportional so that the boat cannot tip or even flip over during a very intense storm or something of that sort. They can also clog drains, which is very dangerous when water is on board the ship. They can also flood engine ports, which could kill the power of the engine and reduce efficiency. Zebra mussels reduce the efficiency of boats because they can, as you can see on the picture on the right, attach to the motor and slow down its spinning capabilities. This picture shows how extensive zebra mussels really can be on a simple recreational boat. Here I've attached a warning label for recreational boaters. Here, if you follow simply the 5 steps, you're most likely to stop the spread of zebra mussels. By simply finding the zebra mussels, draining your water from your boat, dumping any trash from the boat, and rinsing the boat, and then drying the boat will cause the zebra mussels, if they happen to be on your recreational boat, to die off before you insert your boat in a new lake. This is a very important concept because if you are to take your boat to one lake that is infested in zebra mussels, you could then transport them to the next lake that you go on, which is not an ideal situation. Zebra mussels also have an effect on filtration and other man-made structures. Zebra mussels, as I said before, are best known for the colonizing tendency, which means they colonize in very large groups. Many zebra mussels will pick one area, and this can cause major problems for man-made structures. Zebra mussels have been found colonized inside of pipes, as you can see on the picture I attached below. For example, at Cooperstown Water Treatment Plant, zebra mussels colonize in the water intake pipes, and this impedes the water flow and clogs the filters. To try to deter zebra mussels and improve the water flow, chemical control of these aquatic pests is currently necessary. This is a very expensive process, so it is unfortunate that zebra mussels colonizing is so extensive. They can also colonize on buoys and actually have been known to sink buoys because there's so many that their weight has sunk the buoy. This is very dangerous also for the shipping trade industry. If a buoy is not where it's supposed to be, a ship can get out of course and possibly hit a unexpected shortage hit the bottom per se. This is very dangerous for ships because especially on the St. Lawrence River, the channel is very small, and if a buoy happened to sunk, they might get out of course very easily. Zebra mussels also have been known to attach to bridge supports. As you can assume, this is kind of a scary concept. If the bridge support was to get damaged, the bridge in fact could collapse. Here are my references, and I would just like to tell you a little bit more about zebra mussels to wrap up this presentation. Zebra mussels are a continuous threat to freshwater lakes and rivers around the globe. Personally, as I mentioned earlier, I live on one of the Great Lakes, Lake Ontario, and near the St. Lawrence River, which is a major shipping trade. Zebra mussels are a great threat to our water structures, especially power plants run by water filtration. In order to combat the spread of this invasive species, many governments require the shipping trade to mandate the flushing of ballast tanks with salt water. Since zebra mussels are freshwater species, salt water is toxic to them. Two governments that are very well known for doing this is actually Canada and the United States. To deter their quick population expansion, companies and recreational boaters use chemicals specific to zebra mussels that either kill adult species or prevent spawning on surfaces. Some companies that struggle with the colonization have even begun using low-frequency magnetism to interrupt ions that would help develop the shells of zebra mussels and help limit their vessel threads from attaching to surfaces. Overall, zebra mussels are an invasive species and a very dangerous threat to human structures as we know today. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you gained a little insight on the invasive species zebra mussels.